days, if you Google domestic violence support group, we will actually pop up in your search, which is amazing considering we have done no SEO ourselves. But what we did do, and we did a lot of in the first couple of years, was we went out and saw other services that are for in crisis. So your domestic violence crisis services, or your rape centres, your victim supports, all of those sorts of services. So we went out and face-to-face met with them and told them what we were doing. And we get a lot of referrals from them. But yes, as a result of having a lot of those backlinks, as a lot of your business people would probably know and understand, a lot of people find us through that, or they might be seeing their psychologist and they get referred. They might be seeing one of those in-crisis services and get referred. Lots of different ways. But yeah, it's pretty much a word of mouth a lot of the time.
Yeah, amazing. So then now that you're an official charity,
Mm.
how are you funded? How do you actually get the funds to make
Yeah.
this available to women?
So originally we self-funded ourselves to get everything set up, and yeah, it was probably running on a bit of a shoestring as a result, but that was fine. Now we do live a lot on grants. So we do a lot of grant writing.
Yep.
We've been very lucky that we have always got enough to help to pay for the back office invoices, which again, all of your listeners will know there are a lot of them and they add up. But
Why do
also,
they keep coming?
I know they're always there, right? They never get any cheaper. But also to fund perhaps something that we might be wanting to do, like getting better branding. Once we really got going and got a quorum of people coming, we wanted to just look that little bit more professional, given that we had branded ourselves and built our own website and done all of these things ourselves. And we are not gurus in any of that, by the way. So yes, pretty much grants and donations when we can get them as well. So that's a bit of a constant thing in the background for us, is looking for grants and getting the money in that way.
Yeah, and I guess that's interesting. Like, if you're a type of organization that doesn't require or rely on sales, like as in customer sales and customer revenue, you still have a sales role in a sense because you are revenue raising. So donations, the grants. So you still kind of have to have a salesperson hat on at different points.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things, just before COVID started, we'd actually built a corporate sponsorship package and booklet and got it branded and printed and everything. And then everything came to a bit of a standstill, like everything did during
Mm,
COVID.
mm.
And we're still in the process of trying to pick that back up, because as you're absolutely correct, it's all about getting in front of people, doing the hard sell sometimes to try and get them to put some money into your hands instead of into their pockets or into something else that they might have for their business. So yeah, it's a bit of a constant one. And from a sales point of view, we also found that a lot of people find that groups like ours have started up usually when a family member or somebody close has unfortunately been a victim.
Yeah.
Hopefully not a death, but a victim, and they will set up some kind of charity. So we
Mm,
had to get past that. You're only little, you're not going to be around for very long, etc. So we really had to get a good grounding
mm.
and get people to know that we weren't fly-by-nighters. We were in this for the long haul, and it was really important to us that they understand that. So
Yeah.
that's that other constant sell job, is making people understand that, we're here. We've been here for 6 years now, nearly. We're not going anywhere. Unfortunately, there's still a need for us, and there continues to be a need for us. So we'll keep going as long as we can keep going.
That's a really interesting point because I also think that's a something that small businesses face, is that how many runs on the board do you have? Are you only, how many people on your team? I remember when I first started Scrunch, so my other business is an agency. So it's now been around for like 10 plus years.
Mm.
But I remember that in the early days, that always like, who else have you worked with? How many team members do you have? And this, where's your office? And all of these questions is like, how big are you? Are
Yeah.
you legit? And so, I mean, so funny now because I've over the 10 years, we had the big fancy office, had the big team, and now I've gone back to, smaller team,
Mm.
completely remote, completely virtual, and you wouldn't know it. Like people don't care anymore, but it is, I feel like being in business, you are kind of always defending yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Possibly one of the things that helped us right up front was we'd modeled ourselves loosely on this other sort of format.
Mm,
We had been to see one of our local in-crisis services who weren't terribly excited about what we were doing. They have
mm,
their own challenges, etc., but they did give us some good information. which was to have a questionnaire to sort of screen people to make sure that they're in the right place, which was really good. But what we also did was we went and ran past some psychologists what we were planning to do, because I'm someone with lived experience. I don't have any counselling experience or anything like that. I just have experience of myself. So we ran it past them, and they actually got us to present at the local psychological society group, that next meeting that they had. And having that, I think, was really beneficial, because when you've got the tick in the box from psychologists who are going, this is awesome, people can't come to us forever because they can't afford it.
Yes.
And they don't have anywhere to kind of refer them on if that's the end of them being able to see them, sort of thing. So they were very excited, which was great for us. But having that, as you say, that legitimacy, and having somebody say, yep, these guys are okay, you can kind of trust them, I think made a big difference.